Yes, I'm coming, Earthlings. And in the darkness of the night, I'll frighten the life out of some of you. While the rest, straining their eyes, cry out, "Look there! It's Halley's Comet!" Great Comet, they used to call me, until a certain tiresome person turned up.
Edmond Halley hoped that people would stop being alarmed by comets. After all, he did work out scientifically why his comet kept returning to visit the sun and the earth. But then Halley found religious writers using his theory to invent a new version of hell. These clergymen wrote that the souls of the damned would have to ride on comets after death. So sometimes they'd freeze far out in space, and sometimes they'd roast near the sun. Hardly a pleasing idea, I'd have thought, for the old astronomer royal.
We've had many famous astronomers here at Greenwich. Edmond Halley spent a number of years here. And tonight, David Hughes is going to give us a talk about Halley's Comet.
Yes, can you come to that? Halley's Comet's due back fairly soon now. This is where he lived.
He actually lived in the red brick part of the building, here in Flamsteed House.
There's a house here as well as the observatory.
That's right.
It's not a very big place for an astronomer royal to live, is it, really?
Halley died at Greenwich in 1742. And as we go into the octagon room, we can see some of the types of instruments that Halley would have used at the observatory.
But he died when he was 85.
That's right, yes.
About then.
He was still astronomer royal when he died, in fact, still at Greenwich.
Yes, I believe that he had a reputation for being quite a toper. And I believe he died when he was drinking a glass of wine.
I think you're right.
Oh. So it's all aboard the comets, is it, for skeptical sinners like me? Well then, to hell with the comets.
The divine providence might make such noxious globes for chastising sinful men, and to be their place of torment after death.
What strange compulsion is this?
Damn the reverend gentleman's words!
Why, it's Mr. Halley, bless his soul.
Just think of it. If that old belief were true, Edmond Halley's ghost would have spent 240 years cruising around the solar system. And each time he came back to us, the poor fellow would be scorched by the sun.
Ready for the next roasting, eh, Sir Comet?
Mr. Halley, until it's really time to start scaring the Earthlings, I wish...
Scaring them in the 1980s.
That nasty boil on Jupiter hasn't burst yet.
I see. So we're only to talk about the weather.
What else is there left to talk about, Mr. Halley?
Look out! Meteorites!
That's what I mean.
Steady, boys, steady. Hearts of oak are a steady, boys.
by the thunder of great guns, I was right.
After 3 orbits together, you might have learned
Sir Comet!
little consideration.
Sir Comet, listen to me!
No, not so hard! Only volatiles. Put that spyglass away.
Listen, I think my people mean to scare you this time.
What's this? One of Mr. Halley's new hypotheses?
Well, yes. I didn't want to worry you, but...
Out with it, then.
Those bright flashes we saw from afar on Earth, were they not like the detonation of great mountains of gunpowder?
Oh, I know they mystified you.
Well, I think my people have been practicing, Sir Comet.
What for?
Why, to blow you to bits?
Ah, they couldn't reach me.
I'm telling you this because I've seen a ship.
A ship?
Yes, there it is, not far from Saturn.
Oh.
Men built her, that's for certain.
Well, they've missed me.
Oh, they'll have other targets besides you.
And get busy with your fancy spyglass, Mr. Halley.
But I thought you didn't like me observing the Earth.
No, I want to know what they're up to on that horrible little planet of yours.
Well, aye, sir. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Who'd be cursed with such an eager man?
The flying machines are much bigger and smoother than they were in 1910.
All the better for carrying bombs, my dear.
There's always so much bustle on the Earth. Except here. What ruins are those?
Oh, all your civilizations perish sooner or later. Ah, yes, the Incas of Peru. Did I ever mention how I foretold their downfall? My 1531 performance.
Foretold fiddlesticks. You'll find, Sir Comet, that the march of science will be...
Will be a disorderly ramble through the fog, as always.
What's this growing in the middle of the jungle? And you say nothing ever changes.
But what will they do with it? That's the question.
Ah, you're uneasy now, Sir Comet.
Not just for myself, I promise you.
Sit just there, you'll be hit in the eye by Halley's comet.
Someone's talking about us.
Just moving back a bit. And please be careful with that planet, sir.
It's back in England.
There's a chance, then, for some lazy espionage.
My name's David Hughes.
Do you know, it's at Greenwich, at my old observatory.
Anticipating the return of the most famous comet of them all, I'm going to air some of the questions that puzzle us as we prepare to observe the comet more closely than ever before.
We'll find out what they mean to do to you now, Sir Comet.
As a space scientist, I'm very hopeful about what we'll discover. But the history of comets warns me to expect an outbreak of comet fever, superstitious fancies, public panics, and bizarre scientific theories. This will be the 4th predicted observation of Halley's comet in 1986, but will be, I think, the 41st time it has been seen and noted down by observers on planet Earth.
41st? Can that be right?
Halley was the man who saw it in the year 1682, who looked very carefully into the orbit of this comet and came to the very important conclusion that the comet that he'd seen in 1682 was exactly the same comet that was seen by Kepler in 1607 and also by Appian. And this comet will be back. Unfortunately, he died before this, but he was right, of course.
You seem to have one admirer left, at least.
And the first slide does show a beautiful example, a Chinese report of the comet reappearing at that time. Halley himself made all sorts of other discoveries about the stars, about the Earth, but in the public memory, they're all outshone by Halley's comet.
Why didn't you have a grander name? Augustus. That would have suited me.
How do you think I feel? Remembered only for an overgrown firework like you.
Anyway, who are these people?
I can look around here tonight and I see some super ties and some lovely brooches which show the comet in 1986. And I know that for you members of the Halley's Comet Society, it will be a very great occasion.
Hawley, Haley, Halley. I do wish they'd make up their minds.
But they do have very smart insignia.
You represent the very wide public who will be celebrating the comet's next return. If anything, there was a bit too much excitement last time, in 1910. Telescopes weren't nearly as powerful then as they are today, but astronomers took wonderful photographs of Halley's Comet for their scientific studies. There was plenty of unscientific nonsense too. Comet fever takes various forms. Many people were alarmed by predictions of the end of the world. And others, can we run the film, please? Others tried to read an astrological meaning in the death of a great king, Edward VII, who perished very promptly when the comet appeared.
There you are. King of England, Emperor of India, my greatest triumph.
His Majesty died of bronchitis.
Ah, but it's timing that counts.
We can look back at a whole series of slides which show the alarm engendered by comets possibly striking our planet. Here we have a Paris picture with the livestock looking in amazement at this comet up there in the sky. And the end of the world is going to be produced by this, so much so that on the left you see the maid cocking her nose at her mistress. She thinks the end of the world is completely nigh because of the comet up there on the left. And one of my favourites, you need a very big comet for this, but the world, the Earth, completely split asunder by this thing. A comet, to the astrologers, simply means doom, disease, the fall of kings. You see, we've got Halley's Comet punctuating history every 76 to 79 years, and any sensible astrologer can always find something that goes wrong around a certain period. And we can very easily move back to 1066, when the people who saw Halley's Comet thought it looked like this. And in the Bayer tapestry is taken as a portent of the conquest of England.
Is this Dr. Hughes a skeptic, would you say?
I should hope so.
He hasn't seen it all as I have. The Emperor Nero killing off the nobles when we comets came to save his own skin. The Chinese Emperor is so scared of us, they declared comets top secret. The great harvest of suicides at my last visit.
Then the sooner my people use their new explosives to destroy you, the better. And I'm tired of the way you always disguise your true nature.
Oh, but Mr. Halley, the human eye sees what it wants to see, and I conform to it.
You're living in the past. Uh-oh, no, Sir Comet. Stop trifling. Sir Comet!
Oh, you can't resist an excuse for taunting me, can you?
Tremble, earthling, fee, fi, fo, fum.
The lecturer mentioned this confection only as a form of folly.
Folly, you say? They took me seriously then. Ah, the summer of 1066. It seems like yesterday. King Harold of England was very put out, while the crowds cried, "Poor old Harold, he's done for. We're all done for." Some tried to say, "Don't worry, it threatens King Harold's enemies, not us." "No, no," one comet gazer shouted louder than the rest. "I tell you, we'll see the Normans in London by Michaelmas." And of course, he was right. William of Normandy landed his army, and before long, there's blood everywhere.
Just another of your damnable coincidences.
Tell that to King Harold.
Kindly adopt a more seemly form.
Oh, I can do worse. Bleeding heads, horrible smells.
None of that now, please.
But it's very obliging of me, really. I always assume whatever guise your people wish to see.
We'll find you out soon enough, you'll see, by careful observation.
But with so many errors in the past, how will you know when they have it right?
Listen, if my conceit about them blowing you up annoyed you, Sir Comet, I'm sorry.
Why then, Mr. Halley, I'm pleased to become your friendly, mysterious blob once more.
Oh. 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 Thank you, Sir Comet. Oh.
We've seen representations of Halley's Comet from China and Norman England. My next picture appears in a chapel in Padua. This first realistic portrait of Halley's Comet comes from a 1301 appearance when the painter Giotto saw it and adopted it for the Star of Bethlehem, although I don't think he was quite right about that. And the spacecraft, which will shoot at Halley's Comet, will be named Giotto. I'm one of the scientists involved in this very exciting international project.
What did he say?
Yes. They are going to shoot at you.
So the worm turns, does
Our
it?
European spacecraft will be launched from Guyana in South America using an Ariane rocket.
That's the very one we saw.
Oh, dear me.
The probe that will actually penetrate the comet is being built at Bristol.
Shall we look?
Oh, must we?
Effectively take the load off the D-spin mechanism.
Well, we have the problem of interfacing it, of course, with the solar arrays here, which are an existing design.
Yeah, there's two problems, yes. We're going to have to modify this shield.
I have it.
Let's hope we can get it sorted out tonight.
Oh, they've got the space telescope array out.
Yes, that'll be looking at the comet at the same time as Giotto.
A space telescope as well.
They look like pastry cooks to me. So that's their cannonball, is it?
It's much smaller than the rocket. Certainly not many men could ride in that.
The shield will come down here. We'll have the experiment sensors mounted on this position. And that's all got to fit within the Ariane shroud.
And by their sensors, we'll discover your true constitution at last, Sir Comet.
It's style that matters, not anatomy.
Yeah, so we shouldn't have any problem with
Come up
shadowing.
and see me then, you skillful fellows. Oh, yeah, and bring some brandy.
These skirts will be replaced by a conical skirt and
That flimsy ship? I shall smash it to pieces with my particles.
But also, the experiments are here in Little Rock and prevent this absolute hail of particles coming and breaking the apparatus behind. And of course, this shield that we have here is a double shield, a good old-fashioned Whipple meteoroid bumper.
Old-fashioned, I like that. He has the measure of you, Sir Comet.
Similar to what I have in this hand, a very small 60 milligram particle moving at 7 kilometers a second went through this hole, hit this piece of aluminium, which is over half a centimeter thick, so hard that the back of the aluminium was simply blown out.
You begin to see what I can do, Mr. Halley?
If the electronics was behind here, that would be bye-bye electronics, bye-bye experiment. And that's why this spacecraft that is going to be sent to Halley's Comet is known as a kamikaze mission.
Kamikaze? What's that?
Oh, something windy in Japanese. But I have him worried. That's the main thing.
A big particle hits it, that's your lot. Well, I'll pass this round and let you have a look at the sort of damage that will happen when small particles moving at 150,000 miles an hour actually do hit pieces of aluminium. And there's one there.
You know, I don't think there will be any men aboard it. That's even cleverer.
Well, they'd not dare visit me in person.
Now, in order to hit the comet fair and square, we have to know pretty exactly where it is and how it moves. A long time ago, it came as a nasty shock to astronomers just to discover that comets traveled far out in distant space, because that smashed the medieval picture of the universe.
You remember that pious misconception?
Everyone believed it, didn't they? The sun and the planets revolving in crystal spheres round the mighty Earth.
Until comets were seen to fly right through the crystal.
But, Mr. Halley, I've been invited to go in circles, in straight lines, and just about everything in between. And how the astronomers went on bickering about my path.
No one had the comet's orbit even roughly right until Isaac Newton came along. He proved, of course, that the orbit is really an ellipse. But Newton was really more interested in alchemy, and he left it to his friend Halley to work out all the details.
Dear melancholy Isaac. Yes, I had to keep dragging him back to astronomy.
I imagine you always were a pest.
3 of them, Dr. Newton. Are you listening?
What? 3 crucibles?
No, 3 comets.
Dealing with Newton was a good rehearsal for riding with you.
I'm always afraid I'm going to drop them.
Yes, all your friends have remarked on your shakes
Friends? Vipers?
and your rages.
You're a treacherous fellow yourself. What's your name?
And your failing memory. We all worried about him. His great mind was deranged, you know.
Comets, eh? I'm out in my judgment if they are not planets of a sort, returning into themselves with a continual motion.
Just so, and after years of labor, I have 3 comets, all set to reappear, if I'm not mistaken. The comet of 1661 in 1790, the comet of 1680 after 575 years, and the comet of 1682 will, I'm sure, return in 1758. Can we put them in the new edition of your book?
No, I'm not happy about them.
What, the comets?
No, the crucibles.
His damned alchemy.
You predicted 3 comets and were completely wrong about 2 of them.
I was right about you.
Not quite, Mr. Halley, not quite. And wasn't your precious Newton under the delusion that comets were all clammy and combustible?
That's right, so he was. He thought you carried moisture to keep the planets alive and fuel to stoke the sun. And then Mr. Herschel declared you to be a lump of pure light, carrying illumination to the people that he said, wretched man, were living on the sun. What madness.
Come now. William Herschel was an astronomer of great renown.
Then he must have been drunk.
Oh, as drunk as you, Mr. Halley, when you pictured people living inside the Earth.
Well, there were reasons for that. The magnetism.
There are always reasons.
But in course of time, the theories sorted themselves out, and a quite accurate picture emerged. Now, we have over here, in the Octagon Room at Greenwich, a beautiful model of the orbit of Halley's Comet, and right up there we have the aphelion point, the point furthest away from the sun, and the comet would have been there in 1948, and since then it's been drawn towards the sun like a moth to a flame. Here we've got the orbit of Halley's Comet and the solar system. You can see here Earth, Moon, Venus, Mercury, and the planets in the audience here.
Quite pretty, aren't they? But where have they put Jupiter?
Shoots through the plane at this point.
I like that model of Saturn there.
And of course, Halley's Comet has...
Planet does that represent, do you suppose?
And as this comet comes past the sun, its tail starts to be produced round about the asteroid belt and develops in size and in length, but always points away from the sun. So the comet has now got a pretty hot nucleus, gas.
Here we go.
This comet tail will be always pointing away from the sun, and as it comes in, and this gas and dust is continually being blown away from that nucleus by radiation pressure. And of course, after it's past perihelion, the nucleus of the comet will get cooler, gas...
They're too elegant to be astronomers.
But they're very attentive, aren't they?
Oh, so would you be if you learned that comets ran on curtain rails in the sky.
If only you did, you'd not risk colliding with planets.
You're forbidden to speak of that.
In July 1985, this Giotto spacecraft is going to be launched from the Earth.
But now he's coming to the ship.
And it's going to move off into space, around the sun, and hit Halley's Comet here.
Ouch!
That's so visual, eh?
But they'll miss, of course, unless they know my secret.
The reason we're so sure we can hit the comet is that we're fortunate in knowing the flight plan and exactly where Halley's Comet will be to within a few hours. This comes from the work at the Jet Propulsion Lab in California, done by Donald Yeomans.
You'd better find him.
He's been using a large computer program with a whole series of planetary gravitational perturbations to predict where the comet's going to be.
And 56 at the Los Angeles Civic Center. Past 4 months, sales of Chrysler-built cars are up compared to a year ago. Ford and GM are down.
This ought to be California. Am I looking at the right planet? Dining on dogs. Ugh.
It reminds me of ancient Rome. Superstitions galore. So much for your science, Mr. Halley.
Naked girls? They are, too.
The Jet Propulsion Lab, he said.
Yes, indeed. Ha ha. The fortune tellers will never have great temples like these.
Excuse me, is this finished?
Is this Dr. Yeoman's, I wonder?
Yes, it is.
Ah, good.
He's a busybody, just like you.
But do you see they have electric mills to work the numbers now? Oh, those could have saved me half a lifetime's arithmetic.
And I'll wager someone uses them for casting horoscopes. But our man, you've lost him.
Good morning, Steve. Did you get a chance to run those spacecraft trajectories intercepting Halley's Comet?
I have this one that shows some of the information about the European missions and the Japanese and some of those. I was about to run off another one that shows how it intercepts the comet.
Everyone's going to shoot at you. Halley Intercept Mission.
Your enthusiasm is unbecoming.
First we come in with the Ort's orbit. Come back in with the orbit of Halley.
Your path exactly, you see, and prettily done.
Oh, I suppose that's the tail of the comet right there.
It's the tail coming out away from the sun. And finally, it draws the spacecraft orbit, shows where the spacecraft intercepted with Halley and the comet's tail.
I see. The spacecraft is launched from the Earth over there and intercepts the comet over here in March of 1986. Thanks very much. Sure. That's going to be a big help.
Oh, okay. Yes, a big help. But go with Dr. Yeoman's then.
Well, of course, we're computing as a center of mass. Yeah. Now, what the observers are observing is the center of light. Now, say the actual nucleus itself were back here, and they're measuring the center of the image out here, you can see we've got a problem.
About how big is the diameter here?
Maybe 100,000 kilometers or so. But,
so only a couple % error in that can give you what you're looking at.
Yeah, in effect, what we could be doing is looking at not the real nucleus of the comet, but some sort of a ghost image out here.
A ghost image? They must be spotting you, Mr. Halley. Well, keep it up. Keep them guessing.
Of course, we've taken into consideration all the non-gravitational effects.
Non-gravitational effects? They must have found another force.
These are the effects that caused the 3.5-day error in 1910.
Do you remember how vexed they were then?
But now these astronomers know something new.
Do you have any idea how well you can do for the 1986 apparition?
Yeah, I think the perihelion passage time in 1986 is probably plus or minus 6 hours, February 9th, 1986, in the afternoon, Greenwich Mean Time.
I'll give them a mean time. Let's get back to your famous Greenwich.
After all this effort, we think we know pretty exactly where the comet will be from day to day when we're trying to hit it. And we can see a film of the orbit of Halley's Comet based on Dr. Yeoman's computations. You see the innermost planets, Mars, Earth, Venus, Mercury, and the comet going through.
So you have some secret force that affects your motion.
Well, I do as I please.
I wonder what it can be.
That's the Earth's orbit, and now the scale changes and we take in the whole solar system and the comet's huge path. Now, predicting these movements depends very much on the nature of comets and our latest theory about what they're made of. Until quite recently, a different theory gripped the minds of astronomers. This theory had comets as vast hailstorms of little particles of ice and dust, widely scattered through space.
Mercy on me, you don't have...
Do you know I like to follow the fashion?
Damnation! There must be a more comfortable theory by now.
But you're meant to suffer!
Even today, one or two astronomers still stick to this theory. They say that when the sun moves through a dust cloud in space, it gravitationally grabs these hailstorm particles and focuses them into a comet. But most of us have moved on from this hailstorm theory.
Let's be up to date then.
But there's still a good bit of argument. That's what I love about astronomy. There's always one opinion, a second opinion. We're trying to sort out the answer.
Oh, do hurry up!
But now, after years of argument, nearly all of us think that the core of a comet is a snowball.
So you'll have to conform to this too, Sir Comet.
Very well, Mr. Halley!
I might have known. Oh, you're damnably cold. Oh.
Oh, confound it!
Now, one of the surprising things is that this snowball is extremely small.
Small, eh?
I'm only doing this to oblige.
In the case of Halley's comet, we think it's about 5 kilometers in diameter. That's how small it would look until it gets near to the sun and gives off gas and dust. Then it can seem to be much, much bigger. The comet actually loses a little bit of...
You know, you're nothing but a swindle.
Oh, this is just the latest in a long straggle of ideas.
And this, we think, is it. The snowball theory was worked out by Whipple. That's Fred Whipple of Cambridge in Massachusetts. He's a very distinguished astronomer.
And a man of singular good judgment.
And has been working in the fields of comets and meteors for nigh on 40 years.
Of course, when you look at a comet, you see a great big thing up in the sky. And one of these bright comets, like Halley's in 1910, had a tail that was 100 million miles long.
I think I hear him.
Well, he's some peddler of comets, anyway.
Comets are just imposters. Because you see this great mass of gas and dust shining in sunlight, but the real comet is just a snowball down at the center. You never see it all.
You're just a child's plaything.
Of course, a comet is a very dirty snowball. Much dirtier than this, about half dirt.
They had cleaner minds in 1066.
Now, the idea is to see whether you can throw it without it spinning. How about it, Danny? Let's see you do it. No matter what you do, there'll always be spinning. Slow or fast, everything spins in the universe.
How fast does it spin?
By my calculations, Halley's Comet takes a little over 10 hours to spin once around on its axis. Comets moving through space do not follow Newton's law of gravitation, and that's where my snowball theory comes in. Because if Halley's Comet is rotating and the sun strikes it, the vapor comes off, the water vapor and other dust, and that produces a jet action on the comet surface itself.
So that's your secret force. The gas and dust act like a rocket. Yes, but why does he stress the turning so?
It pushes it forward in its orbit, makes the orbit bigger, makes it come in later.
I have it. Yes, because of the way you turn, the jet is strongest on your hind quarter, so you gather speed.
Go faster and arrive later? Oh, clear as dirt, that is.
Oh, you wouldn't understand. You see, your orbit increases because you spin.
All right, here we go.
Not so fast. You mustn't spin so fast.
Why not? It makes a change.
It makes me giddy. Anyway, at this rate, you'll break up.
How do you know?
Please, I am the Astronomer Royal.
You were the Astronomer Royal?
Anyway, he said one rotation takes 10 hours. Oh, that's better.
We don't call them dirty snow clouds, we call them dust clouds. And you can see them down the Milky Way if you look up with your telescope, these dark streaks across the Milky Way. Now about 4,500 million years ago, one of these snow clouds in space collapsed, and it made our solar system. It made the sun, it made the planets, and on the outside of that, we had the granddaddy of all snowstorms. Probably 100 Earth masses of snow collected there, dirty snow, and collected into comets and made the outer planets such as Uranus and Neptune. And that's where the comets came from. My car. She must play baseball.
You are a dainty snowball.
You always believe the latest theory, don't you?
The spacecraft will plunge in and see you naked.
The dirty snowballs are scraps left over from building the sun and the planets. They mostly reside a long way out in space, until a few of them come in to visit us. Here, a NASA film clip takes us away in imagination from the inner solar system, and there's Saturn. The sun is getting fainter, and the outer planets. And if you could travel about a light year or so out, you would find that faint sun surrounded by a great cloud of billions of comets. The sun is now at the top right. Comets have been there since the origin of the solar system, and individual comets, dirty snowballs, are orbiting very, very slowly out here.
Is that really where you came from, Sir Comet? It's a pretty conception.
He's just guessing.
Every so often, a passing star perturbs some of the comets in the Great Cloud and causes them to begin the long, slow journey towards the sun, where we'll see them. Now, to check this theory, professional astronomers need the vital statistics for hundreds of individual comets. In fact, we only know 650 individual comets, and it is important to try and discover even more. One of the beauties about discovering a comet is that if you do discover one, you get your name attached to it. And this is one of the few ways that poor astronomers can become famous. A Japanese astronomer was very keen on this and was trying to bring fame to his family by discovering comets. And this is the gentleman called Ikea. He discovered 4 comets in 4 years. So here we have a very happy gentleman. 4 times he's been immortalized in the comet catalogues. But recently, the front runner has been the Australian amateur Bill Bradfield, with at least 10 comets to his name. A crude estimate is that to actually discover a comet, you've got to have your eyes at the binoculars, looking at the ecliptic plane for about 300 hours on average. So it really does take these dedicated amateurs to do this job. And
I'd like to find some of these amateurs.
You see what you started?
お茶どうぞ。
お茶なんか飲んで暇ないよ。水星だよ、水星。
会社に遅れますよ。
会社なんて言ってらんないよ。これからマサチューセッツケンブリッジのアストログラムビューロに手紙出さなくちゃ。ドクターブライアン・マー。
What was he saying?
Oh, he's found some paltry comet. He's sending another message to Massachusetts. Well, go on then. You're looking for this astrogram bureau.
Harvard-Smithsonian Institute for Astrophysics.
Ja, god dag. Mitt
Dr.
namn är
Masson.
Svensson.
Hallå, jag heter You have a new comet. Where is this comet located?
Hello, this is Albert Ramsbottom here. I've observed a comet. It's at
Hello, Central Bureau for Astronomical Telegrams, Dr. Marsden's office. Can I help you with something?
4 hours, 22 minutes, right ascension, 21 degrees.
Excuse me, I cannot understand Italian. Can you speak English, please? Okay.
I think I have discovered a new comet.
Right.
Constellation of Leo.
Okay.
Hold by my pretty comet, comet in Leo.
25 degrees, 17 minutes, declination. All right.
It's just like Bartholomew Fair.
Okay. What's new? There's a comet that's been discovered in Australia.
Dr. Marsden.
Very good. We'll tend to this.
Marsden, the Lord Mayor of Comet City himself.
All right, thank you very much.
Right. Yes, this is a Fujimoto comet. Yes, we had...
oh, yeah, something else on that.
Suppose we better do this one next.
Fujimoto's comet. That's our Japanese friend, I suppose.
Fujimoto's comet, Halley's comet. Anyone would think you owned this.
The interesting thing is that it's very like a comet that had been calculated by Halley.
Look, they printed my book after all.
Better late than never.
I can show you the orbit by Halley. This is in 1677. The thing is also, it says that the time of the third observation has to be changed by 1 hour. It was an hour later. We'll put this one in and see what happens.
Oh, you're there too in their great catalogue. 1682.
Ah, when you and I first saw each other.
No, it's a parabola. I'm afraid the orbit is quite a bit different. It's quite a bit different.
So it's not the same comet that Halley observed.
No.
But if it's a bright one,
at that time.
I suppose this one wasn't discovered in Australia. Bill Bradfield could well have made the discovery of this one.
Right.
We could send out, I could send out a telegram and you could do the circular.
You understand, don't you, what these judges shrewdly pay for all that labor, all those sleepless nights? Tuppence worth of glory for the winners. And they'll all be agog for me, these comet hunters.
It's one field of science where outright amateurs can still make important contributions, and all their discoveries help to convince us of a steady supply of comets coming from the Great Cloud. But you know, even in the 20th century, these cosmic visitors continue to inspire quite amazing scientific theories. One of these says, believe it or not, that comets cause diseases. Here we can see a typical comet, and streaming away the two basic components, the gas, the beautiful straight gaseous tail moving right up the slide, and the dust moving towards the left. It becomes smeared through the solar system more and more thinly until we just can't see the dust anymore, unless, that is, the Earth encounters the grains of dust later on. The bigger grains burn up in the atmosphere and show up as meteors or shooting stars. This is an artist's impression, and high-flying research aircraft can actually scoop up the smallest ones. These are microscopic pieces of a comet. The famous astronomer Sir Fred Hoyle proposes in his book that diseases are caused by viruses and bacteria carried to the Earth on these small particles.
Oh, wise astronomer.
Viruses, on this next slide, could arise spontaneously inside a comet, so Hoyle says. Comets seeded the Earth with life in the first place, and the viruses and bacteria still keep coming from outer space, attacking us today. Smallpox, cholera, polio, plague, striking out in completely different areas and not passed from one human to the other.
Oh, marvellous. That's just what they said in the old days.
And here is Fred himself looking quietly confident about his theory which fills the sky with germs.
Why, this Sir Frederick Hoyle would set back the medical arts 300 years.
He is there reviving a very old association between comets and diseases, but applying it to modern medicine. Can we run the film?
In August 1976, an unknown disease struck the American Legion Convention in Philadelphia. 180 Legionnaires became sick, and 29 died.
And Hoyle says that the unfortunate Legionnaires were zapped by a passing cloud of bacteria descending from a comet. Fred goes so far as to suggest that we've got our noses built in this fashion simply so that these little bacteria can't get in. It may sound a little implausible.
There must be some other explanation.
Hush. I must hear what famous disease he lays to my credit. The Black Death, do you suppose?
According to Fred Hoyle, our comet, Halley's comet, is responsible for Asian flu.
Asian flu? What's that?
Rather a nasty sort of cold, I believe.
A nasty cold? Is that all?
Yeah. Achoo! I say, you don't really.
I'm not saying.
You should want them to believe it.
Why do you say that?
Because if they felt they'd let loose miasmas of disease, they'd not blow you up.
Oh, that again.
I can introduce my next rather astounding theme with a visit to the moon, drawing your attention particularly to the craters, some of which are huge, as you know, and some small, just roughening the surface.
Men on the moon? Why, that's wonderful. You see how mankind progresses, Sir Comet, in its newfound harmony?
Oh? Why, don't I see the flag of one of your warring nations? And I think your species is now evolving backwards toward the kangaroo. He'd not need that fancy suit, Mr. Halley, if he were dead like you.
Oh, be quiet, Sir Comet. This is fascinating.
The lunar rover rocks up and down as it goes in and out of the smallest craters. The moon has preserved this cratered landscape, unlike the Earth, which has buried most of its craters under newer rocks. If it wasn't for this sort of geological healing, we'd see that the Earth, rising into view there, has been hit even more often than the moon. And the effects of all these cosmic impacts have been, as we now know, pretty drastic. Of course, people have thought about collisions between comets and the Earth for quite a long time. Halley was convinced that a comet had actually hit the Caspian Sea and produced Noah's flood.
That's what I said to the Royal Society when I spoke about the effects of a comet striking the Earth. For such a shock would cause the waters to run violently towards that part of the globe where the blow was received, and with sufficient force to sweep the whole bottom of the ocean, heaping it up into mountains. The waves would recoil.
What a sloppy way to build mountains.
All we can hope to do is to propose hypotheses which later ages may examine, amend, or confute. Thank you.
Oh, they'll amend them, you can be sure of that.
Although we have to add asteroids and meteorites to the objects that can hit us, comets, we know, must collide with the Earth from time to time. One did, we think, in June 1908 in Tunguska in Siberia, where investigators found a huge area of forest destroyed by the blast. It's just lucky that this was completely uninhabited, because we now calculate that the explosion was equal to quite a large H-bomb. A comet hitting the Earth is the most likely explanation, but it was a very small one. It was possibly a piece of Encke's comet. This is a well-known comet that comes past every 3 years.
Shedding pieces? That's careless.
Oh, horrible. Is it no one's duty to keep such dreadful violence off the screens?
But why didn't we notice this in 1910?
I did. It quite spoiled my visit.
All that devastation of Tunguska was caused by a small cometary object about the size of this room, but moving at about 90,000 miles an hour. Larger objects must be far more damaging. Here's an old crater in Canada, scraped bare by the ice ages, and shown here in a satellite picture. You could fit a couple of cities the size of London into that crater. And the gigantic explosion must have been deadly for many creatures living at that time. The amount of dust and gas thrown up into the atmosphere, the effect on the weather, would be considerable. People think that the dinosaurs were wiped out 65 million years ago, wiped out by a cosmic impact. Their disappearance, to many researchers, was catastrophic. It wasn't just because when Noah built his ark, the dinosaurs were too big to get in. People are fairly convinced that it was an asteroid or a comet that came along, and it's been a real mystery why these creatures suddenly vacated the world and left the world free for the likes of us, the mammals. I'd like to introduce you to Jan Smit, who's been working in Amsterdam on the evidence that a comet may have wiped out the dinosaurs, and lots of other animals too, I believe.
He promised us something astounding.
Thank you, David. Well, dinosaurs certainly make a spectacular dying, but to make the picture more complete, we have to look at life at the surface of the sea, which ceased at the same time as the dinosaurs demised. We have to look at the microscopic animals, and the main clue we had for the demise of these tiny animals, and perhaps also the dinosaurs, is a clay layer exposed in the coastal cliffs at Biarritz. As you see, the clay layer is blue in color, and tests in Berkeley by Walter Alvarez showed the clay partly to be made up of peculiar elements like iridium, which are not known in the crust of the Earth.
So this iridium comes from outside the Earth. Are you packed with iridium then, Sir Comet?
Now you may learn, Mr. Halley, that your bumptious species owes its existence to the untimely death of a comet.
This peculiar layer has been analyzed in Holland too, and you see here the white glassy objects solidified at 700 degrees centigrade
occurring only at the base of this clay layer and probably fallen in from the sky at the moment of the impact. The amount of dust which it throws up is so huge that for 1 year, not one ray of sunlight can penetrate to the Earth. You see, it's a very straight line where below the animals still thrive and are flourishing, and in this particular clay layer are just wiped out.
I begin to see how unlucky those unsuspecting monsters were.
Unlucky comet.
Without sun, most of the vegetation would die, so they must have starved in utter darkness. But some of the smallest animals must have survived, I suppose by eating the seeds or carcasses, and then restocked the Earth with all its present life.
My only comfort is, Mr. Halley, that now you must see your people in a more temporary light.
Why? What do you mean?
Just one more comet like that one.
They'll make a castle of their planet and guard it against the likes of you with their new explosives.
So we have a very small risk of a very big catastrophe, which means it's a risk we can't quite ignore. Before the space age, there was nothing we could do about it. Now, though, we have the chance of sending bombs out into space to remove these comets as they come in.
Just as I said. Now, doesn't that frighten you, Sir Comet?
Not really.
But just look at that rocket.
Oh, do stop gloating.
I think Halley would be extremely surprised to see one of those, won't you? There was a study done at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology into how you could intercept an object that threatened to collide with the Earth. The answer was to use 6 giant Saturn rockets, each carrying a large nuclear weapon.
Nuclear? That's the word I wanted.
Weapon. That's the word I heard.
Their aim to intercept the object a few days before the expected impact. Each rocket delivers a warhead with an H-bomb equivalent of 100 million tons of ordinary explosive. And these simply blast the intruder and push it away from the Earth. Now, perhaps it sounds a bit far-fetched today, but in the 21st century, dealing with wayward comets in this manner may be just as natural as swatting flies is today.
So they mean to get you next time. Why aren't you quaking now, my little fly?
Oh, they're not going to attack me with their big bombs.
Why? What other purpose could you possibly conceive for them?
He called it a warhead.
No, they couldn't.
That's what you said about the machine guns.
No. You're just living in the past.
Twice they've had worldwide wars since we were here last. Haven't you realized that yet?
Come now, there's so much progress. I intend to enjoy this visit.
So will my admirers there, no doubt. If they last that long.
2 world wars, did you say?
Yes.
Please be reassured that nothing disagreeable will happen during this coming appearance of Halley's Comet. Or if it does, it'll just be by coincidence. If I can just move over to my model here, Halley's Comet will be at its brightest, the tail at its longest, when it's here closest to the sun. Now, unfortunately, the Earth isn't going to be where it is as shown here, but at the time when Halley is in this position, February 9th, 1986, Earth is going to be here, directly opposite. And we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So please don't get too excited. The best view is going to be from the southern hemisphere, when the comet heads away to the south of the Earth's orbit. So if there's any chance of a trip to Australia, that's where you'll really see Halley's Comet. But failing that, don't worry. The comet will make its debut on television this time. and in that way you'll see it much better than anybody else ever did before you.
And just think of the size of my audience this time.
So, in 1985, 1986, you're going to have one of the greatest scientific efforts to observe a comet. The first time a spacecraft has been sent to a comet. But don't forget, we're also going to get this upsurge of comet fever, and all this is going to happen again, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Bravo! Bravo! Ready for the roasting, are you, Sir Comet? What do they say? Like a moth to the flame?
I'm ready to spread dismay once more, if that's what you mean.
After all the progress we've seen, that's absurd.
But in the palaces, the same old villains fear for their skins.
But this time we'll really prove that natural laws prevail.
Yes, war, plague, and famine. Oh, it's business as usual for me again, you'll see.
If I dug into you, do you think we'd find a well of brandy? That'd fortify me for the roasting.
Let's just lift our spirits with that chorus, so popular at the time of your death. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on.
Oh, very well.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I've just thought of something else.
What's that, Sir Comet?
If they didn't still half believe in ghosts, why, I'd not even have your company, Mr. Halley.